Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another ThinkWalk. I've already been walking a bit, and I had my phone. I said, why not give ye old podcast another try, another go with another free topic. Um, Definitely, if you have any topic in mind that you'd like me to discuss and rant while I walk and huff and puff, please feel free to let me know, and I'd love to talk about it. So yeah, today I think it's a good day. It's a beautiful day to talk about words and the power of words. Uh, uh, in and of themselves, words do have a certain sense of power and energy that you have to take into account. Um, but as they are, the power that a word gets, it's often from the person who sends the word and the person who receives the word or the words. The topic comes from a friend of mine. Her niece was actually having a situation with bullies, and bullies happen because people are stupid and childish and immature. It is just, it is a thing that happens, and it's a shame, but it does happen. And luckily, in the case of my friend's niece, it's just name calling and whatnot. But having been an 8-year-old and having been a teen and having been in college in different contexts, I've faced a couple of choice words that at least I've been able to laugh off the most, for the most part. Being Puerto Rican, it's hello when people waste gasoline just because. It's like, yes, I feel so manly. Look at me accelerating in an area where I'll have to brake. Don't get it. Being Puerto Rican, I've been exposed to a bit of racism. I'd say a ton. Maybe I've been ignorant, or maybe I've just been lucky, or maybe a combination of both. But I've been called spick point blank. And to me, the thing is that racism is funny and silly and stupid because it's so immature. And that's the way that I've always tried to treat it. First off, so people don't get the wonderful idea of keeping it up. And second off, because I don't want a word to disarm me, to really, damage me to the point that, oh my God, it hurts. And I get where spick comes from. Spick is from, Hispanic people and their pronunciation and how they say speak. They say, spick. Yada, 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 yada. But luckily, I've been able to choose not to let racism and bullying get the better part of me. Because in the end, they're just words. In those cases, it's been words. And, it's up to me how much I allow it to affect me. In my case, I'm very fortunate that I've been able to have the mindset that I don't pay much attention to it. And I think that's very important because bullies, if you don't give them a reaction, oftentimes they get bored. If you give them even the slightest reaction, you're like, oh yeah, I had an effect. I had an impact. I gotta keep it up. Which is just all sorts of weird. But it is how some people are. I don't understand the need for bullying. But that's the thing. And yes, it's easy to say, oh, you play it cool when you're not the one facing, up to 4 or 5 people at the same time. But if the alpha gets bored, the betas get bored as well. At least that's my experience. If you give a genuine reaction, if you feel hurt, you're like, yeah, we can have an impact, and that's just fuel for the fodder. You could try to say, man, well, imagine like a little girl saying, yeah, man, leave me alone. No, you can ask people to please not do that courteously, but that could just spur them on. And again, it's easy to say that when you're not the one that's being bullied and facing a group of people that are hell-bent on being crappy. But yeah. And again, words in them, by themselves do have a certain power, but it's the way that you deliver them that charges them almost kinetically. By the same token, when you say I love you, some people say like, oh yeah, can you pass the peanuts? Yeah, I love you. Nah. And it's not that every time you have to be all Shakespeare and get on your knee and say, I love thee like the summer's day, or something like that. But sometimes you really need to mean it and to give it that oomph, because again, words are words until we get our hands on them or get our mouths on them. And they deserve our respect and appreciation because of that. Walking all over the place. But yeah, when you give someone a compliment, mean it. When you say something good about someone, mean it. Don't just toss it in there, because you're missing out on an opportunity to have a positive impact. In case of bullying, that's up to you. And bullying has no age. It has different faces, but it has no age limit. Because I've seen people at work, supposed adults, just ganging up on someone and bullying them to the point that they say, fuck, leave me alone. It's just silly. It's silly that we have to get to that point. Morning. And some people do feel the need to do that, and I don't know why. I don't know why some people feel the need to press buttons. Things that they do. And how you react to it, that's all on you. And again, when someone says, really, really heartfelt compliment, it's all on you. How you receive it. Someone says like something really nice, be very thankful for it. Because I've seen some people get, man, so appreciative or blah, blah, blah. And the person who receives it like, yeah, okay. Thank you for, they almost take it as a receipt, as if they were owed that. Or validation of their good work. I don't know. And it's not to fall on your knees and say, oh, praise you for the kind words that you have given me, bestowed upon me on this morning, for the good deeds and good. No, it's not that either. But it is giving the proper weight to the words in the correct context. I think words can be best described as bullets. I know we're living violent times, and I'm actually not pro-gun. I'm actually pro more regulations for guns. But that's another topic. That'll get me a lot of hate mail. But words in themselves are bullets or arrows. Come on, let's do it more poetically. An arrow, if you throw it with your hand, like meh, it's not gonna do much of an impact. If you have a really good bow, it also won't have much of an impact if you don't know how to use that bow. But if you practice and if you can aim carefully, you can, even at a distance, words can have impact. And I think that's a very interesting way of saying, because I've been fortunate enough to get friends, all around the world. I have friends like, meaningful relationships or meaningful friendships in India, Pakistan, Nepal, all over the U.S., Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, Australia. I have people who have had an impact in my life, and I've had an impact in their lives because we use, the proper technique for our arrows to get there. But by the same token, when I get shot with an arrow, I can roll with it. It's all about having your proper shield and knowing how to roll with the hit so that it's deflected. And in bullying, that's very important because no matter how hard and how precise an arrow shot is, if you know how to deflect it, it won't do any damage. So, yeah. It's all about how you send and receive words. That matters. So, yeah, this is your second ThinkWalk. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggested topics, by all means, suggest away. And if you have any comments, I don't know if SoundCloud does have any comments, but if not, send me an email. Go to my Facebook page, go to YouTube or Instagram or anywhere, and just comment away and let me know if you think this is cool. So for now, peace, love, and maki rolls.